Hi, my name is Rosie. Welcome to Rose Tinted Diamonds. Today I am going to do a scavenger hunt stash video. I have problems. I like doing fun videos. That's what I made the channel for. So, I will have her linked below. Michaela Renee made this scavenger hunt, and I was not tagged, but I will be doing some tagging if I can remember to do it. I have so many videos already made, and I just need to edit them. I just can't. I'm so sorry. I will get there, and you guys will have a ton of like unboxings and stuff. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Life has been crazy. We'll kind of like use this as like a quick catch up since I haven't been doing like whip and chats or anything. Life has been busy. I have struggled for a long time, and I've said this in past videos, but with like my weight and stuff, I am now on a injection to help with the weight loss, and in less than a week I have lost 9 pounds. So we're just working through stuff right now. Life is a little crazy. Let me fix my camera to go up just a little bit so I can show a little more of the canvas, and I can show you guys what I am currently working on. It won't be exactly a whip and check because I'm going to be showing some stuff, but that is, and I know it's going to be at an angle, but you can at least get a feel for it. Hibiscus dragon. It is gorgeous. I initially thought that the colors were going to be more like this down here, more of like a gray tone, and it's this really nice like coffee pink, if that makes any sense, but that's like what it reminds me of, which is like a pinky beige background. I'm fairly tired of it already, but I'm also almost done with that portion of it. So, we'll go ahead and, oh, I also, I've been like planting seeds and they've already sprouted after like only a few days. I started this on Friday or Saturday of last weekend, or this last weekend. And I've already got peas sprouting, I have some sage sprouting, I have some watermelon plants sprouting, and I have some sweet salad mix also sprouting. So like it's going. We're doing it. So I have got like my mom and my neighbor both are like, hey, Lotus, come on, man. I know there's not a whole lot of room, but relax. They're like, hey, you want to do like garden this year? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Quit. Now I'm scratching my carpets. Okay, let's okay. So, without further ado, I'm going to use the sticker sheets. I know C from Sea of Diamonds, whom is going to be one of the people that I tag. Even if she does do it before I can get mine up. I don't know. We're going to do it anyways. Because I know she hasn't, or I'm pretty sure she hasn't been tagged, at least not that I've seen. So, the first scavenger hunt was jewelry. So I went with Chroma. Whoops. Can't see that. And Chroma she's got two, like a ring, a bracelet, earrings, and a crown. So I figured that would work for jewelry. That was a fairly easy one. There's a lot of, okay, cat. There's a lot of ones here that would have worked for that one for me. And I'll put that in the stack of sticker sheets that are out. The next one is book. That also was one that I had like quite a few that would work. but I went ahead and went with cat bookshelf. So I have cat bookshelf that I need to do. My mom is chomping at the bit for this one. She loves it. She's a cat person. She's also a dog person, so I got that from her apparently. Number 3 is makeup. So I don't have any that have like makeup products in them, right? So I went with girl wearing makeup, and Satura has a fair amount of makeup on, it looks like. So I went ahead and went with her, as I'm like not getting it on there correctly. That's okay. This is by Margaret Morales. Oh, by the way, Margaret Morales was the first one. Randall Spangler was the second. That's my first Randall Spangler. I know. He's like well known in the diamond painting community, and like everybody has Randall Spangler of some kind. So that one's from Margaret Morales. I have like a large portion of my stash is like Yume and Margaret Morales and stuff. So that is just how the cookie crumbled. Next is cup, right? So my rendition of cup is Win Win by Marie Antoinette Kailau. I hope I said that correctly. And Oraloa, if I can get like the picture to, she's drinking boba, right, out of a cup. So to me that's a cup, right? Like if I wanted to be pedantic and use whips and stuff, maybe not, maybe pedantic is not the word for this. Hibiscus Dragon also would have worked. It is literally half of it is a cup. So I wasn't sure if whips were included, and I do have a completed kit included as well because there was one that I struggled. So just bear with me on this one. It's the only one that I didn't have a non-completed canvas for. Next is flowers. So of course I had to go with flower delivery. Could you, hello? Get down. No, get down. Thank you. Good God. He is just like restless today or something. This is by Yume Art. What is this, just like photobombing me? But yeah, lots of flowers. That's really fairly self-explanatory. I also had a lot that would fit into that category. Like the cup was a little bit more like niche to where, yeah, that was. So then the next one is cat, and this doesn't have the, the like info on it, but this is by Laura Poutrat, and I think it was called The Encounter, if my memory serves me correctly, which I think it does, but we shall see. I love that one, and I'm so excited for this. I just have to get down in some whips. And part of my problem too, you're gonna see a lot of DAC, right? I did my best to try and like incorporate other companies into it, but I'm finishing those ones that I'm getting from other companies, like as I'm essentially getting them. Like I'm trying really hard to like actually finish the ones that I buy from other shops so I can say, hey, this is great, we love them, woo. The next one is hat, and this is Home of the Coven by Ailey Marie, and her, like, half of it is a hat. I could have used this for Moon as well, or jewelry, because she has a necklace, obviously, or makeup, because she's got makeup. But yeah, we're using it for hat, because this is the one with, like, the most hat. I'm really happy I picked this one up. I really love it. Oh, so good. Next is plants. So I was like, okay, so if the first one was flowers and the second one is plants, then I have to go with green plants, right? Because the first one was flowers. So I went with, I think it's Bath Time by Yume, because again, Yume. I don't have enough of hers. Oh, I just love her artwork. I can't. But yeah, so lots of plants in the background. Like that's like a focal point of this piece, other than, you know, the dog and the girl in the bathtub. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Next is musical instrument. Okay, so I'm so sorry. Like this is one of those that I'm like, I'm ashamed. But like my first few diamond paintings, this is musical instrument, right? I'm not drawn to paintings with musical instruments normally. And when I first started diamond painting, I immediately, the first one I picked up was quite literally one with an instrument. And then not long after that, I did Storm Inside, both by Yume, both within the like glass instrument collection. And those are the two that spoke to me the most, with colors and, you know, different things like that. But like, I don't know, like I'm trying. And I just don't, like, I looked through everything and nothing had like a musical instrument. The only thing other than that that I could think of is Under the Stairs, which also is in this book. It's a whip at the moment. And it's not a musical instrument, but she does have like a radio. That is the only other thing that I could think of that is in my stash currently, like being worked on or, you know, whatever. And it just, I was like, that seems silly to put like, yes, a Walkman as like, or a radio as a musical instrument. So we went with just using one that's been completed. Everything else, I swear, is a stash, is an actual like in my stash thing. I don't have any musical instruments. Okay, now that that little caveat is done. Next is Moon. So again, this is one of those like very broad, like I'm drawn to images of moons. So I used this one, Lighthouse in the Night by Image World, because my husband, this is one of his that I have to do for him. And like, it's so pretty. And I think the moon is a fairly big focal point. And it's adorable. I love it. And it's a landscape, which is not something I have a lot of because I only do landscapes for him. So that's it. Next is Window. And I went with Breakfast Buddies by Ivy Dollamore. Again, you'll see there's a cat. And there's plants. Like, I could have used this for other things, but I figured this was good for Window because, again, it's a fairly big focal point, like, in the background. The other option I had was, like, library. What's it called? The big library one. Rose Library. I should know that. Rosie couldn't remember the word rose. Okay. That's what kind of day we're having today. That's it. So yeah, that's for Window. I could have used that for cup too. There's a cup in the background. Haha. Redhead. Okay, so I had some trouble with this one only for the fact that most of the quote-unquote like redheads that I have in my stash, they look more pink than red. Does that make sense? And I did Hades and Persephone by Margaret Morales already, so Hades and Persephone by Mrs. Butterdee, I hope that can be considered red. I feel like that's a redhead and not like pink hair, but we're doing our best here. Everyone else had like pinky red highlights or like they were much more pink than red. So this is the best I've got at the moment. So the next one is weapon. So I thought about using Artemis, but I've seen someone use Artemis already. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna switch it up, kind of. And we're gonna go with Medusa by Chrisabug. She's got sword and shield back here, up here. There's a helmet. Like, I know that's not a weapon, but like it's well within that like category. She could have also been used for mythical creature. That was my initial like thought, was to use her for mythical creature, but we went with weapon. So for my mythical creature, I went with Autumn Waterfall by Yasu Art Studio, and I had to look it up because I was like, is a fairy a mythical creature? And they said it is a legendary or mythical creature, so we're going with it. We're going with fairy, and I like this one, and it's very different from a lot of the other ones in my stash. It's much less like cartoony, like fun, witchy, whatever, bright colors. This is very like kind of muted and like landscape-y. This is the only landscape-y one that I will be doing for myself. So yeah, Autumn Waterfall by the Yasu Studio. I have a bunch, like that's another one that I'm like, I've got a lot that could potentially fit into this category. Because I like mythology and I like mythical creatures and different things like that. And then last is food. And like, this is the one that's like it's like, I think somebody else has used it as well, but it's so obvious. And I feel like it would be doing a disservice not to use this one as the food one. So I'm here for the food, and that is by Mrs. Butterdee. And she is most definitely here for the food. She's got like watermelon, like a brownie with like strawberry on it, a donut, ramen, I'm assuming, boba tea. So I almost use that as cup as well, because more boba tea. I love boba tea. I don't like the tapioca. I do not like the tapioca, but I do like boba tea. I usually get like rainbow leche kind of thing. Yeah. And then eggs with bacon on toast. So she is most definitely here for the food. So yeah, that is my scavenger hunt. It was really fun actually going back through. I know I just did like pretty much like a stash video, but I've added so many to it that I'm like, you know, it's really fun always going through it. I love going through my gems flow and just like looking at them, because I only buy the ones that I'm like, absolutely, I am doing that. Like, I'm so excited. There's a few that scare me that I'm like Artemis, I think, is one of the ones that it's absolutely gorgeous, but it is a lot of browns. So I'm really hoping that it's such an exciting piece that it's not going to be like pulling teeth. I mostly struggle with like dark blues, and I think because I've done so many with dark blues, that's why I've ended up like just totally struggling with it. Hopefully I'll get this piece done, and I am going to take a day, probably while I'm playing World of Warcraft, because I may have jumped back into World of Warcraft and like started raiding again. Whoops. So yeah, just hopping back into games for a little bit, you know. Sometimes I have to make room for other things because games are a thing that I do with my husband. They're a thing that I do with my son. Things that I do with my like little brother. And sometimes the older brothers when they deem it necessary or want to do it or whatever. And it's just like friends, like that's what we do. We game. So This is taking a little bit of a back seat. My goal is to have at least this one done and then to start working back on under the stairs. It's been a ride, y'all. And it's been a lot. And I'm trying to make sure that my kid is good and everything else. So, yeah. That's my catch up, basically. Like, I've just been trucking along on this guy and trying to get as much as I can done and going from there. So, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a rosy day.